Breath of the Wild Walkthroughs, Episode 5. Namut Shrine, Cryonis Trial. What's up, YouTube? In this episode is about the Namut Shrine, Cryonis Trial on the Great Plateau. This video covers a walkthrough to that shrine, as well as how to complete the Isolated Plateau main quest. We've done the last 3 shrines, so if you want to know how you do that, you may refer back to the previous video. Also, disclaimer, sorry about that sound, it's just I have a thunderstorm where I live, so if it annoys you, then please just tell me in the comments, okay? I'll try to enable them. Anyway, we just want to open our save file, and without further ado, let's make like the master cycle and rev on through. So, in the last video, we were outside the Daim Shrine and had just achieved stasis. However, and now we're going to go toward the Namut Shrine. However, warning, you're about to enter an extremely cold environment, and so where you'll take damage if you don't have any protection. You should have the warm tablet if you've watched the previous video. If you don't, then watch the previous video, episode 4, and get it. Or if you have enough cold-resistant meals, then that will also work. But in this video, I'll also cover an alternate way to get the warm tablet. I have it on right now, so I don't have to worry about that. So you just want to climb this hillock, and you can see this last pin that I've marked in episode 1 or 2. I'm not sure, but that pin I've marked is where we're going. It's the last shrine on the plateau that the old man asked us to go to. So you just want to climb up this wall. And also, if you're left down to the last red sliver of stamina, then you can jump, and your jump will take you twice as far. You can just push this boulder. But anyway, if you see a mountain up ahead, yeah, that one, that's Mount Hylia. Another way to get the warm tablet, if you haven't already, is to go up to the top of Mount Hylia, where you'll find the old man. Speaking to him will get you the warm tablet. So anyway, you want to go up past these ruins. Well, actually, this isn't Mount Hylia, it's the next one. Yeah. This one's Mount Hylia. If you go up to the top, then you'll find the old man, and he'll give you the warm tablets if you talk to him. And here's an ice keys. So we're going to defeat it. Keys are nighttime, bat-like creatures that usually can be defeated in only one hit. Anyway, we want to keep going. And there's the shrine we're trying to go toward, on the other side of the mountain. So you just want to go down the slope. Nighttime's falling, and there will be Sal monsters that come out, and keys that come out at night. Right? That'll be a nuisance. However, up ahead, there will be a campfire where we can rest until morning. So, here are a couple ice keys that we'll want to defeat before they freeze us. And then you want to get the ice key swings and this key ball. Then just keep going. Sort of like toward the wall or toward the waypoints, depending. You can roam. However, yeah. So there's 2 keys and now a style monster. Just destroyed the style monster. And then it's a stout goblin. This particular one is a stout goblin. Anyway, you want to keep going. You want to go up the slope. And you want to watch out for the snowballs, as they can take away a whole heart of your health. And now there are bokoblins, which I'm gonna equip the spear. And there are 3 sitting around a campfire. And then also don't be slow. You're gonna want to get you're gonna want to push away the bomb barrels before they do and blow you up. There are a bunch of stuff you can get, like if you have room in your pockets, you can get their weapon or their item drops, or the seared steak that they've been cooking over the fire. And then sit by that same fire until morning. Anyway. So now we're done with that. And it's morning, so now we can go up the slope. And we're only a few steps away. We're only a few short steps away from the Namut shrine. And by now you know the drill for this. Is examine the pedestal to open the shrine and press X to skip this cutscene. Then skip the next cutscene and go down to the elevator. And this shrine will teach you a new rune, Cryonis. So, there is, so, you know the drill for this. Also, examine the pedestal to get this new rune. Cryonis. Basically, this allows you to create a pillar of ice from any water surface. And you can also shatter them if you want to. These blocks of ice never melt. However, they only come in one size and will and you can only create 3 at a time. So anyway, like I did there, you just line your reticle up with the water and then press A to create the ice. And then you just go over here and around the corner to the next room where you do the same thing, but instead create a pillar of ice under this gate to lift it up. And then there's a guardian scout around the corner. Just several quick swipes of your weapon should do the trick. And then pick up its ancient materials. And then make a pillar of ice here. Another thing about pillars of ice is that they're climbable, the opposite of shrine surfaces. Anyway, then you go up this ramp to get to the traveler's spear in this chest. So now, I don't have enough room for this in my inventory, so I'm just gonna make some room. But you're free to skip this part if you do have room. Anyway, there's this final puzzle where there's the seesaw mechanism and 2 unfinished stairs on either side. So you want to create a pillar of ice underneath one end of it to raise it and create sort of like a ramp for you to go up. And then you can just work your way around to get your spirit orb from the monk. Yeah, you know the drill. Just go up these steps and interact with the monk to get your fourth and last spirit orb. Skip this cutscene. And then you got a spirit orb. And then you'll see the old man again when you exit the shrine. You'll see the old man again when you exit the shrine, and he'll tell you what to do next. So you complete the 4 shrines. Now what? With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh, extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Like, it's finally time for me to tell you everything, but first... Imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the end points. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where 2 lines connecting the shrines will cross. There I will be waiting. So now, let's take a look at our map to understand where those are. If you draw an X on this map with the horizontal line between the Namut shrine, which we just completed, and the Jabayig shrine, and over here, and then another line between the Oadaim shrine, the last one the one we completed before, and the Omad Al shrine, the one we completed first. And then the place where they intersect is none other than the Temple of Time, specifically the top of the Temple of Time spire, like the Temple of Time steeple. So while you can walk all the way over there, then it's easier just to warp to the Shrine of Resurrection and finish the journey on foot. So, we just got outside like we did in the first video. And then go down the slope. And then over here, there are a couple ruined guardians, which I'll show you how to get the ancient parts from. If you go to, like, the underside of a ruined guardian, a search icon will appear. And then, just, once you search one, you'll get an ancient material. In this case, it's an ancient shaft, but it can also be an ancient gear. Or an ancient screw. Or an ancient core, very rarely. You actually get those by defeating guardians. Anyway, you enter the Temple of Time through the front, and you can see that there are several jars that you can smash to get opals. And one of them is some arrows. And then you can open this chest to get a traveler's bow. So let's just swap out this Boko bow for a traveler's bow. But the real prize is the goddess statue in the middle. Actually, not in the middle, at the back. And then pray to the goddess statue. Where we now have 4 spirit orbs, so you can choose between a heart container or a stamina vessel, or an extra one. Speedrunners might prefer a stamina vessel because it allows them to reach better places. However, you should probably I recommend a heart container because it'll give you more life force and make it harder and make you like less weak. Which is obvious why that's a good status buff. And then, yep. And now we have 4 hearts instead of 3.
Oh!
We see the old man peeking out of a hole at the top of the Temple of Time. The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here, quickly. So how we get up there is actually pretty easy. On the left side of the Temple of Time, this side, there's a ladder on the side, and you can just climb this. It doesn't take any stamina. However, pressing X to jump up a ladder can. So what you want to do is go up here, and then a cutscene will take place. I'll let you enjoy it while I won't talk during the cutscene because I'll be silent. But basically, he'll tell you about the past of Hyrule and then give you the paraglider. So here you
go. Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has
After
come
the
to show you who I
cutscene, then
truly
you
am.
will be free to leave the plateau.
I was King Rhombos Pharamus Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists.
And the old man reveals that he is actually the ghost of the last king of Hyrule.
The Great Calamity was merciless.
And he'll tell you about the Great
Calamity. It
Calamity.
everything in its path, lo.
And if you're interested in Hyrule lore, I'd ask that you remain silent.
That my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready.
And he'll tell you the events of 100 years ago, the Great Calamity, which you can actually find out about in another game, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
One must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the Divine Beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around
there are
Hyrule
guardians
Castle.
around Hyrule Castle, so
I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point.
you shouldn't go to Hyrule Castle right now.
I suggest that you make your way east.
I'll
out to
tell
one
you
of
to
the
go to
villages in the
Kakariko
wilderness.
Village and
Follow the
find
road into
Impa to tell,
Kakariko
and she'll tell you
Village.
more.
There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here's the paraglider, just as I promised. And you got the paraglider, which allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in the air to use it. This will enable you to get off the walls of the plateau, like he'll say. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding these areas. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, You must say hi. So now we go to main quest, destroy Ganon. And we can get this treasure chest, which has a soldier's bow in it. And that is basically it to this video. In the next video, I'm going to be telling you how to get to Impa, part 1 of how to get to Impa. Because how to get to Kakrika Village. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. And tell me in the comments if you think there's anything I should change. Or anything I should do in the future. I'm trying to... Yep, I already got a soldier's bow. And if you've liked this video, be sure to give it a like, and subscribe, and leave a comment.